Life expectancy is defined as a suspected number of years of life remaining at a given age. The current life expectancy rate for the United States is 78 years old, and the current life expectancy rate for the world is 67 years. Life expectancy is most affected by technology, disease, and medicine. We will show these factors and how they affect life expectancy to help you better understand what trends are most likely to occur and what effects these trends may have on the future.
Dan Buettner is an expert on the subject who launched the Blue Zones Quest in 2005 to study and research the topic of living longer. Here is a short video of Dan telling us the results of his research.
Something called the Danish Twin Study established that only about 10% of how long the average person lives within certain biological limits is dictated by our genes. The other 90% is dictated by our lifestyle. So the premise of Blue Zone is if we can find the optimal lifestyle of longevity, we can come up with a de facto formula for longevity.
Life expectancy around the world has changed with time. These graphs display the progression of the world's life expectancy from 1970 to 2009. As you can see, much of the world progresses from blue colors to red, which indicates an increasing trend. However, some areas of the world, such as Africa, have little, if any, change, and in some cases even show a decreasing trend. Through our research, we found that inflection points can occur with life expectancy. As the graph shows, Cambodia had an inflection point during an outbreak of a civil war. Other possible inflection points could be famine, disease, or even a technological breakthrough. Cultural trends relating to health, fitness, and environmental regulation play a major role in a person's life expectancy. In recent years, these trends have become popular methods for living a healthy life and ultimately increasing life expectancy. In the United States, evidence has been linked to healthy eating habits, exercise, weight control, and not smoking. These controllable things all play a role when it comes to life expectancy. Controlling these things could potentially add between 4 and 7 years to a person's life. Another trend which has boosted life expectancy is the adoption of regulations and standards for emissions. Since the 1970s, automobiles have been forced to use catalytic converters, and manufacturing facilities have been forced to clean up their act with the use of scrubbers. These adoptions have greatly improved the quality of air we breathe, and in turn has helped increase life expectancy.
Medicines and treatments for various diseases have greatly impacted life expectancy. Whether in third world, developing, or fully developed countries, the use of drugs has increased the entire world's average. Without medicine and treatments for numerous illnesses, millions of people would not live nearly as long as they do this day and age. Since the 1900s, there has been an abundance of groundbreaking discoveries in the field of medicine. From the discovery of bacteria to the eradication of smallpox, scientists have been constantly researching and unearthing new medications and treatments to manage the illnesses of today. As more and more medical discoveries are unveiled, the majority of people have a better chance of living a longer, healthier life. Whether a person has a common sickness like the flu or a serious disease like leukemia, there is a drug for nearly every known disorder. At some point in our lives, we have all taken a pill or received an immunization in order to treat an illness. By taking medication to relieve our bodies of discomfort and disease, we live much healthier, productive, and fulfilling lives.
Technology. Emergency medicine has greatly increased life expectancy as a result of increasing medical technology. Advanced technology starts with emergency responders on ambulances who carry automatic external defibrillators that can shock a person's heart to restart when they are in cardiac arrest. Advances in intubation devices allow paramedics to secure patients' airways when they are unconscious. Cardiac monitors that a paramedic uses allows them to see the slightest abnormality in a person's heart rhythm and determine if they are having a heart attack. If it is noticed a patient is having a heart attack or stroke, the patient could be quickly transported by an aeromedical helicopter to a facility more suitable for dealing with these problems. Other advancements in technology include diagnostic equipment. Such equipment can include CT scans, X-rays, and MRIs. These technologies also allow doctors to see what is wrong with the patient and allows them to treat patients accordingly.
The standards for work, living conditions, and food have increased greatly over the past 100 years, with standards higher than ever to help people live longer lives. In the United States, the FDA and OSHA play big roles in making sure these standards are met. Each country has different levels to meet and different ways to enforce them. In the U.S., the FDA makes sure that only quality food and medicine can reach the public. which helps prevent a lot of disease. The OSHA helps make sure working conditions reach standards to help increase health for every employee. All living establishments also have to meet codes and requirements to be an acceptable place to live. Not all countries have these requirements, but as time progresses, adapting higher standards helps life expectancy to grow.
With increased life expectancy, natural resources will become scarce. Natural resources occur naturally within the environment and are not made by man. A natural resource is often characterized by amounts of biodiversity existent in various ecosystems. Some of the examples of natural resources include agriculture, air, wind in the atmosphere, plants, animals, coal, fossil fuels, rock, and mineral resources. But the most important natural resource for our existence is water. The human body is made up of approximately 75% water. Water is crucial to the survival of the human race. Currently, Americans consume an average of 160 gallons of water per person per day. Now, what would happen if drinkable water suddenly disappeared? Overpopulation occurs when an organism's numbers exceed the land's ability to support them. The world population is currently 6.6 million people. The world's human population is growing by more than 75 million people per year. All these people take up space, need food and water, and contribute to the population of the world. With people living longer, this poses a problem for the economy, environment, oil reserves, and natural resources.
Unemployment rates continue to skyrocket and thus force people to accept lower living conditions. They settle for unhealthy, cheap fast food as a way to cope with financial stress and lower income. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, census data show that 43.6 million Americans were uninsured in 2008. Without health coverage, people are not receiving the proper medical care and do not have access to prescription drugs. Government programs such as Medicare and Medicaid continue to provide health and prescription coverage to senior citizens in order to offset fixed incomes. Social Security is designed for current workers to pay a 6.2% tax to help older or disabled citizens. Other programs such as welfare provide cash and food stamps to those making a low gross income. The government WIC program also educates and provides nutritious foods for pregnant women and their children until the age of 5. These and other programs are designed to provide cash assistance, healthcare, prescription drugs, and food to the needy. Government programs are just another way to protect the economy and ultimately increase life expectancy.
Positive effects. If the world continues to make improvements to increase life expectancy, people will continue to live longer. With the enhancements in medicines and other technologies, there's a better chance that their lives will be better and without pain and sickness. If people continue to live at older ages, they will be able to joyfully experience their grandchildren and possibly great-grandchildren. Negative effects. As people live longer, there are several negative effects that will come along with old age. One is that it will cost more money to keep people alive longer. Government spending will increase, and it will deplete money saved for younger generations. Private healthcare insurance will also be spending more, and premiums will continue to increase. If people continue to live longer, there will be more people and overcrowding issues. When overcrowding is present, living conditions deteriorate. People could have poor attitudes, which lead to violence and lead to the need for more public services, costing all levels of government to spend money. New diseases could easily be formed and spread throughout magnitudes of people if overcrowding persists. Finally, if people continue to live longer, they will need to save more money for when they retire and probably need to work longer. This may bring down overall morale as well. Increased life expectancy may allow people to enjoy their lives longer, but it also will bring increased burdens to many.
Our clue detection engine would be a comprehensive database which incorporates various data sources while allowing us to make inferences. It would mainly help to detect lead indicators, correlation and causal clues, as well as whispers which may lead to shouts. We would use various RSS feeds along with data from the FDA, the CDC, and the United States Department of Health and Human Services. We could then chart the data and create graphs to better understand life expectancy and its unpredictable behaviors. Our domain is related to various problems which decrease life expectancy. As mentioned before, some of these include cultural trends such as unhealthy eating habits, not getting enough sleep, drugs and alcohol, and daily stress. We suggest a healthy, balanced diet and an active lifestyle with plenty of exercise. By getting at least 8 hours of sleep and finding ways to unwind, it could lead to a healthier, stress-free lifestyle. Other problems surround the inflection points mentioned earlier, such as war, disease, and famine. Although these problems are harder to reconcile, we feel that improved foreign and domestic policy, combined with access to healthier living conditions and generic drugs, will allow these problems to be mitigated.